every single time, production quality gets a little tiny bit better. I got lights, I got a nice backdrop now. You're not looking at like shitty old books. It's getting there. It's getting better. I don't know. There's a couple topics I've been wanting to make videos about, but I feel like most importantly, one of the ones should be about my high school experience and how that led me kind of to the path of art schools. It was kind of weird. Like, this is my cat, by the way. When I was a freshman going to school, I had no idea. Like, I didn't know this is what I wanted to do. It was mostly just like I wanted to go into computer engineering, something along those lines, which is pretty far off from where I am now. Hi. I feel like, okay, because my philosophy about this is this: I would rather work for $40,000 a year doing something that I love rather than $150,000 a year doing something that I find boring. I feel like my ultimate goal in life is not to have a 9-to-5 desk job. I want ultimately, if possible, and I know this is a little far-fetched, but I'm gonna make an effort to do it. I'm gonna try ultimately to make my artistry be my source of income. And what I mean by that is, I don't know exactly what I'm gonna be doing yet. I feel like my ideal situation would be working off commissions, being like a freelance artist, working only just what people will pay me to paint and draw, which, I mean, right now I have a decent number of commissions that I've gotten, which I don't know why. All of a sudden people have started like asking me to paint stuff for them, and I'm making a decent amount of money. I'm really not trying to brag about that, but that's just like a really weird turn that happened for me lately. So it feels good that I'm already kind of getting my foot in the door as to what the business is like in the real world. Now, is that an accurate representation of what it'll be like when I'm older and when I'm out of college? I have no idea. But for now, I feel like it's good exposure to what it's going to be like later in life. Just a basic sense to kind of prepare me a little. I got a little bit off track there, but I'm gonna get back on track. So back to high school experience, shit like that. It wasn't until probably middle of junior year that I actually figured out that that's what I wanted to do. I mean, I've always been a little bit of an artist. Like, over time, I took arts classes all 4 years at school. I think total I took like 5 or 6, which I know there's probably gonna be people that like, that's it, yeah, that's it. But I mean, to other people that's a lot, because I feel really lucky because my school actually offers like a ridiculous amount of arts classes. We have like, you can take a class on like printmaking, or you can take sculpting or pottery. Okay, I got both cats in here now. They're probably both, they like open windows for some reason. So it was a lucky chance that I got to go to a school that has all that stuff available for me in order to take the classes that I wanted. But there's a lot of other people out there who, and I need to preface this by saying that that's definitely a big part of the reason why I got into some decent art schools, like Mass Art. Mass Art and RISD and University of Hartford. I got deferred from Northeastern, so that's pretty cool. Thanks, Northeastern. But it was a mixture of that, and I can't stress this enough, but strong academics are important. Like, getting into an art school isn't just about being good at art. Having good academics shows that you're able to commit to stuff, that you're able to learn new ideas and be able to roll with them and be able to do, you know, basic human activities. And if you don't have good grades, if you're failing classes and if you're not putting effort in, they'll see that as a reflection of how your artistry is, where you won't put effort in college. That's why right now this year I'm taking 3 AP classes, and again, there's a lot of schools that don't offer AP classes, but it's really important. Like, and I'm not trying to discourage anyone that might watch this. It is genuinely important to try to get good academics in, try to get a higher GPA. And I don't think RISD actually publishes the statistics as to what their average high school graduating GPA is of accepted students, but I mean, I think mine, as of right now, is about a 4.1, which is reasonably high, yeah. But there's a lot of people who can't even... It's really windy out. there's a lot of people who can't even possibly get a GPA that high because their school either doesn't offer honors classes or AP classes, and it's weird. And I don't know, that's just kind of, some people have to deal with that, and that sucks. Yeah, but that's, I mean, the reality of it. And I got really lucky to go to a school that offers these types of classes. So it's a mixture of having good artistry skills and good academic skills. And like, yeah, high test scores, like standardized test scores like the SAT, the ACT, that kind of stuff probably doesn't matter as much. It's as I said, it's a mixture of academics and artistry. I mean, artistry obviously is the focus, but it's like, if you're a good artist but you have poor academics, you have like a 2.5 GPA and you're not really showing any effort, that I feel like, I mean, obviously I'm not a good source of, you know, reference on this. I've mentioned that before a million times, but I feel like putting all of your effort into your art and none of it into your academics will show them that you can't commit to multiple things at the same time. It'll show that you can't put a lot of effort in, and that's probably ultimately the most important part, is showing that you're able to commit to things and you're able to learn new things. That's arguably, in my opinion, the most important part to actually getting in, to getting acceptance letters, is that. So, okay, rewinding a little bit. It was freshman and sophomore year, I didn't really do a whole lot. I just kind of went to my classes, I did my stuff, and that was kind of it. And I didn't really do a whole lot other than just like existing at school. I mean, I got decent grades, like it wasn't like I was a bad student or anything, but junior year it really started to pick up, because that's when I started talking to my guidance counselor and realizing that, you know, shit man, maybe I want to go to art school. And then I started looking at it and I'm like, holy shit, this is what I want to do. And then like it just kind of steamrolled from there, it just snowballed, it got bigger and bigger, and the idea kept growing in my head. I'm like, I have to do this now. I'm gonna be pissed off at myself if I don't do this now. And it just escalated from there. And I started taking it way more seriously. As soon as I figured out that's what I wanted to do, I took a couple more arts classes, I added more, I dropped a couple academic classes because I already had enough credits for the year, and I took more arts classes instead. I started replacing them. I started doing more cultural classes instead. Overall, it accelerated into a big friggin' ball, and I was just like pushing it as hard as I can towards this goal of going to a good art school. And that, I pushed hard like that all through junior and the beginning of this year, up until I did early decision for Rhode Island School Design and like early action everywhere else. I focused really hard on trying to achieve that goal my last 2 years here. I sent out my applications in November, responses came in December. I'm like, shit man, that's cool as heck. That's cool as heck. And it was just like, okay, cool, now I can kind of coast to the end of the year from here. And I mean realistically, okay, yes, maybe if they saw that I started failing all of my classes, they'll be like, you're a dumbass, get out, you're not coming to the school. And I'm like, oh, whoops, okay. And I mean, realistically, that could happen. I'm not gonna fail classes. It's more that now I can relax a little bit. And I honestly feel like this is gonna come off as really shitty, but the school administration, at my school at least, did not help me at all. They just kind of like my guidance counselor, for example, when I was looking at colleges, I mentioned that I wanted to stay close, because I live in northeastern Massachusetts, kind of close to my school. And I said, okay, I want to go to a school that's relatively close to here, like, you know, not more than an hour and a half to 2 hours drive. Something that's kind of close, because my brother right now is at University of Vermont, way up. It's like a 4.5 hour drive. And I've only ever gone up there once and I hated it. I'm never gonna go back up because the drive was just too long. I can't stand long drives. I'm like, okay, Mr. Guidance Counselor guy, I want a school that's nearby, and I want one that's heavy in the arts, or at least has a good arts department. And I started looking at schools, and he started adding stuff like University of Miami or like Hawaii, and I'm like, what are you huh? It was just bad, and I'm like, okay, whatever. So that wasn't any help. So I felt like I was kind of on my own for the most part, which I understand. A lot of kids have to do the whole college application process on their own, which sucks a lot of ass. but I mean, if I have the resources available and I can't utilize them because of some technicalities that disallow me to actually, like, you know, use them properly, I feel like I can be a little bit upset about that. But then again, I have to also understand that most people have to deal with the same thing, with not being able to get much guidance from other people as to what their colleges they're going to be applying to are. So it's a little weird in terms of that, but I eventually found a couple schools that I liked, and obviously RISD was the first choice, because I think, let me actually look this up, because I'm pretty sure US News did like a thing where they ranked different art schools around the country and the world, and I think RISD was like way up there. So, top schools in the fine arts. For artists, earning an MFA demonstrates advanced abilities in an art specialty field such as graphic design, painting and drawing, visual communications, whatever. Okay, these are the top graduate schools for fine art. Each school score reflects its average rating on a scale of 1 to 5 based on a survey of academics at peer institutions. So, I'm guessing essentially that they asked other art schools to rate each other, so that should take a lot of the bias out of it, I would hope. Number 1 is Yale, which Yale is a goddamn, that's a freaking good school. UCLA is number 2. VCU is number 3. Actually, wait, number 2, VCU and UCLA are actually tied for second. Sorry, my bad. Number 4 is Rhode Island School of Design. So, according to US News, which, I mean, okay, I understand that US News isn't the definitive thing, but that's like, it's been used a lot as a very, very reliable indicator of the expertise of a school. And essentially, it's been a good measure of how good a school is overall. So I trust them in that. And the number 4 art school in the country, Rhode Island School of Design, I would say that's a pretty good school. And it was one of the few ones that was actually close to me. Actually, I don't know where Yale is. Okay, it's in New Haven, Connecticut, so it's not that much farther. Okay, bye. My cats, they keep like coming in and coming out because they think the window's open. If the window's not open, they're not staying, but whatever. Regardless, it's not, I would not have gotten into Yale. I can guarantee you that. Oh my god. It opened the video by Video Game Donkey. I love him. He's great. Alright, whatever, that was really off top. I forget, my train of thought just completely derailed, anyway, it's weird. I'm gonna make a video about the actual application process to art and design schools as the next one. But I think for this one, I think I'm just about done now. Yeah, I don't know, I feel like this may help someone. I feel like this is most important if you're thinking about going and applying to art schools but you're not sure what you want to do. You can actually maybe look at this and be like, oh shit, hey, this guy did it, so maybe I can too. Hey, you know this? So I'm gonna make another one of these later. I'm really like shitty at ending videos. I've noticed I'm like really bad at it, so I'm just gonna like turn this off now. Okay, bye.